Today, the fast-talking, pan-shaking, lamb-roasting Marilisse Parker, a couple of real-life pie men and their wares, and the trendiest wine craze in Europe. But it does involve taking your clothes off, so I'm sure you won't be interested in that. Hello, you're watching Taste, the series that will have your previously bored dinner party guests keeling over at your brilliance. And someone who knows a thing or two about keeling over is today's cook, Marilisse Parker. Nice to see you.
What you were talking about, Beverley. I'm always in bed by 10 o'clock.
Of course you are. Now, you've gone all traditional on me today. What are you doing?
I have. I'm doing comfort food. This is Sunday night supper.
Yeah, in front of the telly.
Absolutely.
Look forward to it.
So what I'm doing is a braised lamb dish with a garlic mash. Lamb is fantastic at this time of year, and it's a really brilliant thing for slow cooking. Now, I've taken a cut of lamb, which I actually think is delicious, and it's actually very cheap. It's the neck fillet. You could also use braising steak, and as you can see here, I've just browned it to a wonderful kind of brown colour, and I'm going to take it out of my bowl, or my pan even, and just put it onto a dish while we cook off our other bits and pieces. And the great thing about lamb is you can cook it and cook it and cook it, and it will just intensify the flavour. And I have to say, this isn't the kind of food that my dad, he's obsessed with lamb. He'd be very happy to eat this on a Sunday night. Now, I'm going to add a little bit more oil to our pan. And then I'm going to add some onions here, and I want them to soften. So they're going to go into the pan, and all the wonderful juices and flavour from the lamb is still in that pan, so that's why you do the lamb first. And just give that a really good stir around. You just want the onions to soften. So you're going to leave them there for a minute or so. And I'm going to talk to you about my garlic mash. Not just any old mash, you know, Merrilees, a little bit of a Merrilees twist here. And what I've done is I'm actually going to take some garlic and roast a whole bulb and put that into my mash. And the way you roast garlic is just take the bottom off with a very sharp knife, like that, and then pop it into some foil, wrap it up, and then whack it into a low oven, not too hot, because you don't want this to burn. You want this to caramelise, really wonderful, intense flavours. And when you've done that, you end up with the most scrummy thing. Now, you'd think, oh, my God, that looks like loads of garlic. But once this comes out, as it all pops out, this is really just the most intensely but very, very perfumed garlic. So it's not the kind of garlic that's going to make your colleagues at work keel over on Monday morning, which is probably a good thing. And I'm just going to mash that slightly, like that. Just push it down. As you can see, it's really soft, really, really soft. And then we're going to come back to that again in a minute. Now, my onions have softened here really nicely. And the reason why, sometimes you brown things if you want them caramelised. When you're braising something, you just want them to be softened. And if you want to hurry up the process, you can always pop a lid on the top. To that, I'm going to add some of my really favourite ingredients. I love thyme, and I think thyme goes brilliantly with lamb. Dijon mustard, I just couldn't live without the stuff. It's brilliant thickener, and if you don't eat wheat or you don't like flour, it's a brilliant way of thickening something without using, you know, corn flour or normal flour, and it adds the most delicious flavour. So in that goes. And then, I'm a bit of a sherry girl, Amontillado sherry. You might think sherry is something that your auntie drinks, but actually sherry is really sexy these days. Fantastic for cooking and really delicious, and it's pretty cheap, a lot cheaper than wine. So that's going to go in. Now, I'd let this bubble away and kind of reduce down, because what you want to do with the alcohol is you want the alcohol to go, and then you just get left with this wonderful flavour. And Amontillado is actually quite, it's not sweet, it's not the sweet, but it's a sweeter of the drier end of sherry. So what this is going to do is marry perfectly with our lamb. And honestly, go out, get all supermarkets have really good ranges of sherry, so go out and, you know, try your sherry. Now, lamb's going to go back in, like that. And then we're just going to bring that back up to the boil, and that would braise for about 40 minutes to an hour, depending on how long you fry it off for first. Now, our mash. In here, I have just got some potato, which Because I'm going to pipe this, I've put it through a potato rice or a fine sieve, because you don't want to have any lumps or bumps or it really won't pipe very well. And to that, I'm going to add, you know, your normal butter and milk here. But the little tip is if you melt the two things together first, you get a really wonderfully easy consistency to mix into your mash. So in that goes, like that. And give it a good stir. Then our unctuous, yummy, delicious garlic. A little bit of seasoning, like that, and some flat leaf parsley, because I just love parsley. Not only for colour, I actually think this adds loads of really good flavour. And then this is going to go into a piping bag, which I just find just a much, much easier way of getting something onto a pie. So I'm going to pop that into a piping bag. This is the messy bit. This is where I normally kind of decorate my kitchen and potato. So get rid of that. And of course, if you couldn't be bothered to do this in a piping bag, of course you could just put it on top. But one little tip I have for you is that when you braise your lamb, and if you're doing a dinner party or something, you do this the day before, because if it's cooler, it is much, much easier to pipe. And this is where it squirts everywhere. This is where you get a bloopers tape. But of course, I'll try and do it very professionally. Oh, there you go. And just going to pipe it on like that. And just keep going on. And if the mash isn't too hot here, this really helps. Because you can imagine, if this is boiling, it would be absolutely, I'd be burning. But then obviously I'm a chef, so I'm very tough. That's the bloopers bit, that is. But unfortunately, there's one in the oven. Just go like that. And see, the great thing, a little tip here, is if it goes all wrong, what you do is you grab yourself a fork and you go like this. So you just cover it over. See? You'd never know, would you? Looks fantastic. Right, into the oven. The oven, I've turned the oven up to about 180. And in that goes. And fortunately, there's one that is here. Now that, even if I say so myself, I think that looks pretty damn fantastic. I'm going to serve this with just a few baby carrots. So just put this on the side of your dish. And I just braise, and baby carrots, I mean, carrots are fantastic at the moment. And then a spoonful of our absolutely scrummy. I can see this is boys' food. Love, can you make that for me tonight? You know, I can just see it. And then a good spoonful of the pie. Making sure that you get lots of the lamb and the mash. And if there was a supper made for Sunday night, it's got to be my braised lamb with garlic mash.
Merrilees, you know what this needs?
A sprig of parsley for you to make it a little bit more feminine.
Ketchup.
Oh, Beverley!
Would that be sacrilege to put ketchup on?
I'll tell you what, if you're really miserable or really hungover and a bit of comfort food, OK, you can get away with it. I don't think it needs it.
I think this is PMT grub. I think that's what we should sort of
Or
name
just
it.
been chucked grub.
Here you go.
I mean, it doesn't really need it, does it?
It's lovely, actually. No, it doesn't need it. You can really taste the garlic in the mash and the parsley, actually.
You like it?
It's posh shepherd's pie, really, though, isn't it? It's nothing...
No, it's not. It's my particularly special braised lamb dish.
Whatever you say. Now, if you're bored with your local pub and have exhausted all your pulling opportunities there, you need a change of scene. So why not follow the taste guide to celebrity drinking holes? A spell in the clinic afterwards is optional. Our number 5 is the notorious Met Bar, part of the Metropolitan Hotel in London. Feisty regulars include the Appletons, Liam Gallagher and Kate Moss, but take your membership card if you want to get in. Number 4 is Baby Cream in Liverpool. This dockside bar has seen many a celebrity from Hollyoaks to Big Brother and even Celebrity Love Island. It may not be A-list, but if you like your celebrities cheap and cheerful, this is the place. Number 3 is the Living Room in Manchester. Celebrities love its invitation-only private members bar. The Living Room has welcomed the likes of Ryan Giggs and Jude Law and thousands of kiss and tell girls. Number 2 is the Opal Lounge in Edinburgh. Justin Timberlake and Christina Aguilera have partied there, and the bar has had the royal stamp of approval. The Opal Lounge is frequented by none other than Prince William. Our top celebrity visited bar is Pangea in London. Owned by Sophie Anderton's boyfriend Mark Alexou, Pangea has seen them all, from Tom Parker Bowles and Britney Spears to Naomi Campbell. Just try to steer clear of the press. Prince Harry was leaving Pangea earlier this year when he had his infamous fight with the paparazzi. Right, if your only pie eating experiences are on a Saturday afternoon on the terraces, then think again. Pie shops are rapidly reappearing all over the country and using their imaginations to reclaim the most traditional of English food. John Simon and Tristan Hogg of Pie Minister are here now. John, why are we enjoying such a renewed love affair with pies?
Well, it's a very traditional British food, really, and it's been neglected for so long, and now it's making a vast comeback, really.
And Tristan, you're the chef. He's the brains. You're the creative talent behind this.
I love that one.
What makes a good pie?
Basically, really good ingredients and a bit of patience. Just using the best ingredients. Basically, making sure that that you're making a casserole to go inside it, and then using like a nice crust. I mean,
Yeah. Now, so pastry, that's got to be one of the most important things.
Yeah.
You've got some ingredients here. Talk us through them.
Right. Well, obviously, we've got two different pastries here for starters. We've got the short crust, which is our base. We use two different pastries to get a nice sort of bite right the way throughout, so you don't get bored of eating pastry. We've got, for that, we use the butter, flour, egg, milk, bit of salt, and that's
And what are
it.
these little white things here?
That's for the lid, basically. That's vegetarian suet pastry, and that is maize there, which gives it an extra little bite as
You see,
well.
vegetarian suet's interesting because a lot of vegetarians would be put off eating pies because of the beef suet that you would normally find in the pastry. And so two types of pastry, no soggy bottom. I'm assuming that's the reason.
No, not at all.
Genius. Right, OK. Let's have a look at the first one here. In this bowl is a filling from one of your pies. John, tell us what this is.
That's our matador pie, which is British beefsteak. There's a chorizo in there, olives, butter beans, sherry, tomatoes, and some fresh parsley in there as well. So it's like a Spanish casserole, basically.
You see, the ingredients look really good in there. That's what's sort of striking me. A pie isn't necessarily an excuse to use all the rubbish that you won't eat otherwise.
No, not at all. You can put some fantastic ingredients into pies. It's nice when you can cut them open and you can see all the ingredients come out and you can actually recognise what they are, as opposed to a sort of gloopy mess.
And who would buy that, Tristan? Who comes into your shop? Is that mainly men or?
No, everybody, you'd be amazed. You see very small girls running in, eating a whole pie and having another one.
And of course, Robbie Williams, Nicole Kidman, Tom Jones, all famous pie eaters of late.
Apparently so, yeah. Tom Jones apparently gets pies flown out to his house in LA, so he must be a big fan.
Well, I better check it out for you then. Do you think pies are being damaged by the sort of football chants from the terraces about who's eating all the pies? It's not a great PR line for you, is it?
I don't think it matters. I think people, you know, it's one of those sort of endearing things, really. People just like eating pies, so they like to talk about them too. I think it's too much of a problem, to be honest.
And sing about them.
And sing about them. You know, how many foods do you get songs about?
Oh, that is lovely. That's like a really, really good traditional steak pie, but with the chorizo comes through, the parsley comes through, the tomato. Sort of, it's posher, really, isn't it? It's a really posh meat pie.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a really simple idea, but works well with the pastry, definitely.
OK. Moving on, then. What have we got here? Talk us through this.
This is our Thai chook pie, which is Thai green curry, basically, with sweet potato, lime, lemongrass, and free-range chicken in there. So it's one of our most contemporary ones.
So this is using your imagination, going through the contents of your fridge at home, if this is what you wanted to do, coming up with something unusual. How would you serve this, Tristan, in the shop? What would you serve it with?
Well, we serve it with mash, but it also goes really nicely with some sweet chilli creme fraiche, which is just sweet chilli and creme fraiche. Which
Sweet chilli creme fraiche.
Yeah.
You also do minted and mushy peas, don't you?
We
it's
do.
terribly middle class, you know, isn't it?
It is, but everyone loves it.
Oh, that is delicious. It's so sweet and quite spicy.
That's it. I mean, it'd be a good thing to do with some leftover Thai green curry, basically.
That is fantastic. Absolutely. Get your leftovers out.
Yeah, just put them
Make
in
the
the pie.
pastry in. Oh, chaps, that's brilliant. You've converted me. I'm going to become a 21st century pie eater.
Connoisseur.
OK, still to come, we tell you why Shiraz is everything it's cracked up to be, and Vino-therapy, French people getting their kit off and wasting wine. Stick around. Welcome back. Coming up, Vino-therapy, the novel new way to use up the French wine lake. But first, Merrilees, what are you doing?
Well, Bev, I'm going to do the most delicious chicken liver terrine, which is going to be served with crostini and rocket salad. Really easy to make, great dinner party dish. Now, the first thing we need to do is soften an onion, which I've done here, in plenty of olive oil. I've also added some thyme. Next, we've got some chicken livers. Now, the chicken livers are going to go into the pan, and the most important thing here is that the onions are softened but not coloured, and the pan is nice and hot, so you can see all that wonderful sizzling, and it smells really awesome. I've also got a touch of garlic in here because this is supposed to be feisty food. So I'm just going to tip them in, the chicken livers into the pan. And I quite like my chicken livers not cooked all the way through because then you have a wonderful kind of pink texture. And I actually would also say, you know, if you can get hold of free-range chicken livers, I do genuinely believe that they taste so much better. I'm going to add a touch of seasoning. So I've got some sea salt here. And I've got some black pepper. And the great thing about this dish is that, unlike a chicken liver parfait, which you often see in restaurants, which is an incredibly smooth, delicious thing, much harder to make, this is real rustic food. This is kind of chuck it in your blender. But it's actually also quite healthy. Chicken livers are full of lots of wonderful things like iron, and also the flavours are, you know, parsley's healthy, garlic's healthy. It's not so much butter and cream, but much more about olive oil. Now I'm just going to give these a little bit longer. In fact, I'm going to move them onto a higher heat. And you can see they're beginning to change colour there. And they're sizzling away nicely. Now, to my terrine, I'm going to add some of my favourite ingredients. I've got anchovies here, I've got capers, and I've got flat leaf parsley. And before you all start going, don't like capers, don't like anchovies, honestly, if you have good quality anchovies and good quality capers, they shouldn't be those nasty, horrible things you get on pistas. They can really add the most wonderful savoury taste to a dish, and they shouldn't be overpowering. Like, I haven't got very many of the ingredients here. It's just enough to season it up. Now, I'm going to serve my terrine with crostini, these wonderful little things here. And this is simply French bread, or you could use ciabatta, really thinly sliced, drizzled with lots of olive oil, and then baked off in the oven. And they're so delicious. And look how funky they look. All I've done is just cut them a little bit longer than you would normally. So they're going to be a really perfect accompaniment. Now, our livers are really nearly beginning to look cooked. As you can see, be quite careful you don't have it too hot, because otherwise they'll explode. Now, they're still not quite ready, so I'm going to talk to you about my rocket salad. Now, I absolutely love rocket. It's the most delicious leaf, and the great thing about it is you've got the kind of sweetness here of the chicken livers, and then you've got the kind of pepperiness of the rocket. So I've just taken some handful of rocket, and if you're doing this in a dinner party or something, just before you were serving, a little clever trick is you can actually have a little bit of salt sprinkled over the top, and you can actually run the olive oil around the outside of the bowl. So you're not actually dressing as yet, you're just ready. And a squeeze of lemon, again, not over the leaves because they'll go soggy, but just around the outside of the bowl, like that. So that's ready for when we come to dress our dish. And at this stage, I think, perfect. Chicken livers are looking absolutely delicious. Now, obviously, it's about 3 to 4 minutes you'd need for this, but depending on the size of chicken livers, will depend on exactly what time it takes to cook them. Now, they're going to go straight into our blender. Like that. This is the messy bit. And then that wants to go straight back onto the heat because I want to deglaze my pan. And this just simply means that all the yummy flavours that are left in the pan, I want to incorporate into my dish. Now, I'm not going to deglaze with alcohol or sherry or brandy. I'm going to be different, and I'm going to deglaze with this balsamic vinegar here. And the reason why I love this so much is it adds a kind of like feistiness of an alcohol, but what it doesn't do is it doesn't sort of overpower it. It's wonderful sweetness. In that goes. Give that a little bit of a sizzle. Whilst that's reducing down, I'm just going to tip in my capers, my yummy anchovies, which you're all going to love if you just give this recipe a try. Some parsley, a little bit of olive oil, a little pinch more of salt. Look at that, all syrupy and delicious. Look at that, all bubbling and into the pan. Quick whiz. And don't go too smooth on this. I use the pulse button here. perfect. Then tip it into a terrine mould. Now this is a terrine mould. The wonderful thing about this is that it makes it really easy to slice. You could have made it 2 days before if you're having a dinner party. I've lined it with cling film because what that means is that you can really easily tip it out. So just get rid of your blade from the centre. Tip it in like that. So make sure you get every last bit out. I find these white spatulas brilliant for doing that. But you could almost keep this for up to a week in your fridge. There we go. Like that. Give it a good bang like that so that you get it so it's nice and even. Fold over your cling film and place that in your fridge and you end up with this. The reason why this looks different is because it's got the yellow stuff is clarified butter. All that is butter that's been melted and the white bit at the bottom has been taken off. And you need to let your pâté cool a little bit before you pour that on. And what the great thing it does is, A, it looks quite nice, but also it keeps your pâté for up to a week. So, just serving up. Got some crostini here. A couple of those on the plate. At this stage, I can dress my salad. I'm just gonna get in there with my hands, just put a nice ball of that on the side. And then the final thing is a little slice of our terrine, which should just tip out nicely by giving the little tug from the... There we go. And then a good sharp knife. I think we give Beverley a nice wedge, like that. Now, I think that would look fantastic on any dinner party table. So that's my chicken liver terrine with crostini and rocket salad. But importantly, what does Bev think?
I think I'm going to love it, but that's quite a chunk of terrine you've cut off there for me.
Want to look after you, Beverley. Keep your energy levels up.
Right. Let's have a go at this. Is it best to put it on a little bit on the crostini? Let's have a go. Oh, it smells great, all the garlic.
Likey?
A taste sensation. That's my favourite meal of the day, I think.
Oh, really? Good.
So far. Great. Now, all our recipes can be grabbed from the website sky1.co.uk/taste, or hit your remote and go to Sky Text page 710. Now, few of us, with the exception of the odd supermodel, have ever thought about sitting in a bath full of our favourite plonk. But Vino-therapy is a new health treatment from France which asks us to do just that. Wine writer Olly Smith went across the channel to investigate.
I've always taken wine in the traditional way, through my mouth, but I'm told there's a whole new way to take it. These grapes can do amazing things for your body. Excuse me. Hi. Sorry, do you work here?
Yes, I'm working at Les Sources de Caudalie.
Ah, splendid, thank heavens. Could you tell me, what could these grapes do for me?
They can make you younger.
Younger?
Yes, and
Fantastic.
distressed.
How does that work?
Because we have the first Vino-therapy spa in the world at Les Sources de Caudalie.
Vino-therapy, sorry.
Yes.
What's Vino-therapy?
This is treatment using grapes, because in grape you have a lot of polyphenol, which is very good for anti-aging and for make you more beautiful.
It can make me look more beautiful.
And younger.
It was time for me to subject myself to some serious grape action. So, ladies, you've stolen my clothes, you've got me naked again and locked me in this room. What are you going to do to me?
So you are going to have a crushed Cabernet scrub with some grape seeds,
Wow.
honey, and salt.
So why is that good?
It's good because it's exfoliating and moisturizing, and it's going to help your skin to be prepared before holidays.
Oh, perfect. Well, I just love drinking Cabernet Sauvignon, and I love drinking it from Bordeaux. And is this the same grape? This is Cabernet Sauvignon I'm basically being basted in.
Yes, but we use grape seeds to have polyphenols.
Ah, yes, so these are the magic properties that are going to make me more youthful?
younger.
Younger. As if it wasn't enough that they had subjected me to some sort of grape S&M, I was about to enjoy the delights of the red wine barrel bath. Right, is it warm? Oh, it's lovely! Oh, my feet.
It's a hot spring water.
Oh, it's lovely. Oh, and what's this going to do for my body, this hot spring?
So it's gonna help to have a very sweet skin.
Wow.
Now we are going to add some grapeseed extract with polyphenol. So now we are going to put the bubble bath.
Splendid. And do you think that Vino-therapy is going to replace the Hollywood nip and tuck?
It has been scientifically proven and it's unique in the world.
Well, I'm a big fan. Oh my word. If you've got skin like a rhino's rump, I'm talking Iggy Pop here, I'm not really sure these treatments will give drastic enough results, but it was certainly relaxing, and for a fresh-faced lad like me, I certainly felt I now looked sweet 16. It's interesting that Bordeaux winemakers like here at Chateau Smith-Haut-Lafitte are getting into things like Vino-therapy. Why? Well, Bordeaux wine sales are down by up to a third, and they're having to diversify. It was a lovely place, though, with some sublime chandeliers. Still, the food wasn't bad. I had a date with Alice Catial, the rather dishy owner of this bijou gaff, who insisted that for a big boy like me, the food would be ideal.
You have some low-calorie menus that are actually 500 calories. Not more than 500 calories for a starter, main course and dessert.
Any wine?
And a glass of wine,
wow,
of course.
That's amazing, 500
Yes.
calories. And of course the famous wines that Alice produces as well.
Our white wine is actually 100% Sauvignon.
100% Sauvignon?
Yes.
Is this rare for Bordeaux?
It's quite rare,
Yeah.
yes. Usually it's a blend of Sauvignon and Semillon.
Terrific citrus on the palate, very fresh, really crisp and refreshing. I love it. It's not every day I get to experience what it feels like on the inside of the bottle.
Thanks, Olly, but I think I'll stick to drinking it. Now, when you order a red wine, do you go for a Shiraz because it's a safe bet and, well, frankly, you've heard of it? Well, wine expert Matt Day is here to help us understand and appreciate this popular red. Matt, thanks for coming in. Now, first of all, Shiraz and Syrah are the same type of grape.
Exactly. Shiraz and Syrah are exactly the same grape, but different names used in different countries.
Okay.
So Syrah is the traditional French name, and Shiraz is the name given to it the world over. So
Okay.
Australia, New World.
So, should they taste the same, effectively?
The essential flavour profile is exactly the same. So you're going to get loads of black currants, loads of tar, loads of spice, but Shiraz style tends to be more overtly oaky, more American oak rather than French oak, which is really rich vanilla spice.
OK, right. Perfectly explained. OK, first wine here. Let's get on to the very important business of tasting it. What is this one?
Well, the first one we've got here is a Caballero del Gino Syrah from Ching-He, from just below. Drinking wine, lovely and soft, with or without food, but a fabulous value for money and delicious drink.
Yeah. It is lovely and soft. Oh, you do the slurpy thing. Should I
have to.
Should I do the slurpy thing?
I think so.
Does it make a big difference?
Huge difference, because you'll coat all your taste buds by doing it and release all the flavours. How's that?
How did you think it was?
It's good for me.
Well, that's lovely, actually. That's very warm, like you said, different... you can taste the fruit, and it's very warming, actually, in the chest.
Shiraz is, I mean, it's the warming grape.
Peppery
It's not a grape for thinking about. It's very bold, very forward. It's, you know, a great drink.
OK, moving on, then. So that one was the Chilean one. This is the French.
So here we've got Michel Chapoutier, Hermitage. And Hermitage is in the Northern Rhone area. And this is Le Pavillon. This is the top of the top from the Northern Rhone. Very, very expensive. This is £85 from Mark Fine Wine. Yeah, £85.
Why would you buy an 85 quid bottle of red wine when there are so many good cheap ones available?
Because some people have lots of money, is one answer. But a special occasion,
Would you buy this, Matt?
Of course I'd
What
buy
kind
it.
of special occasion? What would you...
A wedding, an anniversary.
As a gift?
As a gift, or some people who love wine are prepared to pay however much they can to get a fabulous drop. So you have to be a wine lover to understand why you spend so much money.
Very nice.
Let me try it.
Not, I have to say, not sort of £80 worth of difference.
But
why is it so expensive?
It's so expensive because this wine, compared to the first wine, is a bespoke product. It's been hand-picked, using tiny, brand-new oak barrels. Everything is done by hand, and the quantities are minuscule compared to the first one. The first one is created in a very mechanical way. This one is completely bespoke.
It's lovely, don't get me wrong. It's absolutely lovely.
Perhaps not... I mean, this is a wine which is in its... It's very, very young, and it needs a bit of time in the cellar to kind of really become what it's meant to be.
OK.
This is a keeper.
So we've had Chilean and French. We're moving on now to an Australian red. Tell us what this is, first of all.
Well, this is made by Hardy's. We've all bought cheapy Hardy's in the supermarket. Fabulous. But this is their most serious wine. This is Eileen Hardy, who is the matriarch owner of Hardy's way back. This is their top wine. It's very unusual to spend so much money. This is £60 from Threshers.
On an Australian...
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
Red.
Yeah.
I mean...
But this, you know, Australia doesn't just do cheapies. These days they're producing wines. They're trying to compete with the French. And we're looking here at the two key areas for Shiraz in the world. So you've got Southern Australia and then you've got the Northern Rhone. And it's really interesting to compare.
Any difference in the process? I mean, obviously the climate is very different, but what about the process of making it?
The main differences that we're seeing here are in the climate. The Northern Rhone is marginal, so it's quite difficult for them to ripen the grapes, whereas here you've got lots and lots of sunshine. You can taste it coming through in the wine. I mean, it's when you...
It's much more full-bodied. It's, like you say, the blackberries are in there.
But the main difference you're getting here is here you've got French oak, which is restrained, and in this one you've got lots and lots of sweet vanilla American oak, and that's the big difference between the two.
Very nice. Which of these would be your favourite, actually?
I mean, I'd pick the middle
really
one.
expensive
I'm a traditionalist, but you know, it all depends on what you're doing, what kind of... You know,
I think I like this one, actually. I think this is my
lovely,
favourite, the Australian one.
It's more ready to drink now. I mean, it's soft and supple and ready to go.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of think maybe I should just go back to the first one just to check the comparison now that I've had the very expensive one. Yep. Definitely different.
Can you taste the difference?
I can now. Yeah. This is much thinner. Yeah. Not quite as many sensations. That tastes like a £60 bottle of wine.
It's very silky, isn't it?
Well done, Matt. You've convinced me.
Cheers.
Cheers. OK, now, chefs are notoriously fiery and temperamental characters, but taste is determined to get beneath this tough exterior. And first to go into our spotlights is Gino De Campo as he does the taste Q&A.
I prefer fish. I will have to say egg on toast with a touch of balsamic vinegar. I love balsamic vinegar with eggs. Favorite food smell is fried onion with pancetta or bacon. Anything like that drives me crazy. I hate sushi or anything to do with raw fish, anything like that. I just can't stand it. It's too fishy. My kitchen is very Italian. It's tiles on the surface everywhere, very clean. You know, I like to cook and clean at the same time. Very colorful. It's a lot of blue, a lot of cream and reds, green, all the colors that you can get. Taste is something that unfortunately not many people have.
Coming up, our take on shop-bought fresh custards. Are they any good? An unmissable guide to chocolates. And Merrilees makes something that sounds like a nasty infection. Clafoutis.
What? It's clafouti?
Well, whatever it is. She assures me it's very nice. See you in a mo. Welcome back to Taste. Still to come, Merrilees serves up a sweet and sumptuous Cherry Clafoutis. But what she needs to go with it is some nice, fresh custard. Now, our taste panel has been testing 10 custards, and Merrilees has narrowed it down to these 4 to explain to us today. First of all, what do we need in a good, fresh custard?
Personally, I think that a good custard needs to have very few ingredients. So it's eggs, cream, vanilla pod, like real vanilla, sugar, And that's basically about it. But you know something? I'm not normally a fan of supermarket cheats, but I do think there are some great products out there.
OK, with custard. Right, let's start with number 1. This is Waitrose fresh vanilla custard. This sells for £1.59 for 500 grams. What did you think of this?
I really like this, and I have to say that if you could look at it close, you can see that it's got this wonderful vanilla beans in it. It tastes really natural, it tastes really real, and I have to say, I would absolutely use it as a cheat at home.
It's very creamy.
But it should be. I mean, it's a custard. It should be creamy. I loved it.
You see, maybe our tasters didn't have your expertise, but they thought the creaminess actually detracted from it. They thought it made it more like a vanilla-flavoured cream that shouldn't even really be sold as custard.
But that's real custard. See, maybe our whole attitude toward custards has changed.
Yeah, school dinners. Blame school dinners.
Yeah.
OK, moving on to number 2. This is Sainsbury's. It's the most expensive one, £1.64 for 500 grams. What do you make of this?
Now, I like the flavour. I thought that you could see the vanilla seeds, or, you know, the vanilla pod seeds inside it, but a little bit thin, but not bad flavour, quite natural.
Very thin, much more watery. But it depends whether you like that in your custard or not. What did our tasters think? They thought more of a posh vanilla-flavoured cream. Again, cream with vanilla taste to it. Not what I expected. This is quite a nice observation, actually. It reminds me of melted vanilla ice cream. To me, that's a bit what that tastes like.
Yeah, but I don't mind that. At least it's natural. And it's not going to overtake your dessert. Like, my wonderful pudding doesn't need something that's too overpowering.
Yeah, absolutely. OK, on to the next one. This is Asda's custard. This is the cheapest, 98p for 500 grams. Any good?
For this kind of custard, I mean, it hasn't got vanilla pods in it, but this is a kind of, you know, very sort of basic style custard. I actually didn't think the flavour was that bad at all.
See, that is like school dinner's custard to me.
You don't like that?
No.
But at least it's not too sweet, because I found that all the other ones I tasted, they were so sugary that they just overpowered everything. So I have to say, I would definitely buy one of these two.
Well, our tasters thought it tastes like condensed milk. No custard taste, really. Not a fan. Somebody else was saying probably eat it again if it was given to me. I think that suggests they wouldn't go out and buy it. OK, and the last one, the Marks and Spencer's one. Really?
And you know what? I mean, I just thought it was horrible.
Now, you see, this is very interesting because our tasters thought this was the best one.
Oh, gosh, Merrilees differs again.
What was wrong with it?
Who are your tasters? Maybe I should meet them.
Very good. What was wrong with it?
I just thought it tasted really fake. It's been thickened by something that tasted unnatural. The vanilla didn't taste very natural. Just didn't like it.
I agree. I completely agree. It's quite sort of sticky in the mouth and leaves quite a dry sort of sensation on the tongue.
Wouldn't have it in the house. How dare that call it a fresh custard?
No, that's quite right. Well, I mean, like I say, our tasters liked it. Good one for special occasions. Would go great on crumble. It says, it says, hey, if you had sort of Merrilees round, you'd serve this one with a nice dessert.
Like a Clafoutis? I don't think so.
No.
Not in my house.
No. Well, that's brilliant. Thanks, Mary. OK, now, if the sight of dark, swirling, molten chocolate sends you weak at the knees, then you'd better sit down immediately. Here is our taste guide to chocolates. Our number 5 is Brown's Chocolates from Devon. These handmade treats are made using only the finest ingredients from all over the world, such as spicy ginger from Australia and aromatic orange from Spain. Number 4 is Prestat Chocolates. Prestat's stunning packaging caught the eye of Roald Dahl and are said to be the inspiration behind his Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Our number 3 is L'Artisan de Chocolat. These award-winning chocolates have become legendary and their flavours range from tobacco to red wine and even Earl Grey tea. Number 2 is La Maison de Chocolat. Their speciality is ganache, a mixture of chocolate and light cream. Our number 1 chocolate is Milka. Golden Globe nominees such as Nicole Kidman, Cate Blanchett and Nicolette Sheridan were congratulated on their nominations with Noka's rare chocolates. Heavenly. Now, Merrilees, it must be Clafoutis time.
Yes, it's Clafoutis time indeed. I'm making a cherry clafoutis, which is basically an incredibly French dish, real peasant food, and with wonderful cherries you can see here. But the first thing I need to do is make a milk and cream infusion. So I've got some wonderful double cream here. I've also got some milk, and both of those I'm going to pop into a pan here. And by infusion, that literally just means that you're putting a flavour gently through a liquid. And the flavour I'm putting through is wonderful vanilla. Now, vanilla pods are just fantastic. They're quite expensive, but the great thing about them is that once you've used them, you can then pop them into a big jar of sugar, and it lends the most wonderful flavour to the sugar, and you can use it as vanilla sugar, which is delicious on like porridge or in desserts. Yummy, yummy. Now, to get the best bit out, you have to split the vanilla pod. So you get a knife, you run your knife down the back like that, and then you just make sure that it's open, because it's the seeds inside, these wonderful sort of seeds you can just see here, which are the real kind of flavour babies of this thing. And then you just need to turn it on, and you don't cook this over too high a heat, because it's an infusion, it's not, you're not boiling something. Meanwhile, I'm going to make our sort of second half of our batter. So I've got some wonderful eggs, and I would say with a dish like this, there's so few ingredients in it, use the best that you can afford, so get wonderful free-range eggs. I'm just going to break one more in here. Take the shell out, if you happen to drop it in. Happens to us all sometimes. And to that, I'm also going to add some sugar. And then you just take a beater, and I want to beat this till it's quite light and fluffy. So just turn it on gently. Initially start quite slowly, and then turn it up. And the reason why you're whisking it is you want to aerate this, because you want a really light, fluffy batter, as if you were making like a sweet Yorkshire pudding or something. Just really make sure, and you could do this by hand, but you know what? It gets a bit hot and sweaty. And you can see it's beginning to volumise. We're nearly there. As it changes colour and starts to go really pale, we know that we're almost there. Perfect. So now, I'm just going to get rid of that. I'm just going to fold in, sieve in rather, some flour. This is just plain flour. And the reason why you're sieving it is, again, this is all to try and make this batter as light as possible. And by sieving it, you get more air into it. So it's perfect. And now our infused cream and milk mixture, which I would have allowed to sort of cool down slightly. And I've also scraped out any extra seeds inside the pod. I'm just going to strain that in like that. Don't throw that away. Keep that for your vanilla sugar. And then just gently fold in. And think of this as a kind of rolling movement, because again, it's all about keeping the air in something. And that's why you get, rather than getting a pancake, you get a lovely fluffy clafoutis. Now, on to the last thing that's going to go into this are our wonderful cherries. Now, we're nearly at the end of the cherry season, so, you know, really go out and buy them. I've got these wonderful chubby chappies here, and I've infused them, or macerated them in kirsch. Very boozy cherry liqueur. And it's really a wonderful thing to do, because you get this subtle flavour, but it's not too strong. And they've only been there for about an hour. And if you can see, there's a bit of juice at the bottom. So if you wanted to add this, you could add this to your custard, and it would make the custard taste fantastic. So they're going to go in like that. And then all we really have to do now is pour it into our buttered dish, like that. And then pop it into the oven. And I've got one in the oven which has been cooking away. Wow, looks fantastic. You can see it's risen, and underneath that really great crust are going to be some delicious cherries. And I've got a lovely dish here. Break in. Look at that. You can see all those delicious cherries. And because we did that taste test earlier, I'm actually going to add some custard to this. I'm actually going to add some shop-bought custard to this. Of course, you can make your own, and like I say, you could actually put the kirsch from your marinade into the custard. But as we've discovered such wonderful ones today, I've decided that I'm not going to make my own. I'm going to use the shop-bought one. And then finally, just a tiny little bit of icing sugar on the top. And there you have it, clafoutis.
Nice cherry clafoutis, Mary. That looks lovely. Right, let's have a go. So if you didn't have cherries, or you didn't particularly like cherries, what other fruit could you use?
Apricots would be delicious, apples, pears. I mean, anything really goes with the batter, because it's quite neutral.
It's nice. Lovely, and that, like you said, the batter is like a very light, sort of slightly sweeter Yorkshire pudding mix. Lovely. Oh, Brilliant, thank you. OK, remember all today's recipes can be found on our website, sky1.co.uk/taste, and on Sky Text page 710. A world without taste is, of course, a world without food. See you next time.
What famous cars rev up your engine? The Batmobile or the Bondmobile? Chitty Chitty Bang Bang or cute little Herbie? Take a look back at the coolest engines to have graced the silver screen in movies' greatest cars here on Sky 3 from 9 tonight.